Councilmember Dodds.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that there's a lot of questions going on with what's going on in our life, so I thought I would share my thoughts tonight. My husband has had false allegations made against him for a horrific crime that he didn't commit. Jeff and I have provided extraordinary early care and education for 23 years. We've had a perfect compliance check record. We've served on local and state boards and commissions, and we've advocated at the legislative level for over 2 decades to help improve child care in Iowa. In fact, quality child care is why I'm a city councilor today. Kevin and Kelly will remember well, in 2008, as a leader in the child care community, I was asked to address the Coralville City Council regarding their child care ordinance, which at that time did not require providers to have any regulation. I went to the podium to request that Coralville align their ordinance with the Iowa code that required regulation, and the council told me no. It was an entirely different council then, with the exception of Councilperson Gross. This declination turned into a long 10-month battle to assure that quality child care existed in Coralville. After successfully changing the ordinance, Jeff and I continued to attend council meetings and work sessions for an additional 2 years, after which I ran for the seat that I hold now. So here are some of the perspectives on things that I now have learned to be true. Number 1, innocent until proven guilty is a myth. Guilt is assumed. And apparently spouses bear the assumption as guilt as well. Number 2, the press loves a scathing headline regardless of who it hurts. Number 3, tragically, our world is made up of people full of hate, raging from the ongoing fights at Northwest to the mass shootings that plague our country, to the judgments that have been placed upon Jeff and I without knowing any of the facts. For a person to be filled with so much hate, they must be filled with so much pain, and I am profoundly saddened for them. 4, I am genuinely concerned that our city, along with the other cities in Johnson County, either built GuideLink much too small to accommodate the needs of our county, or what I'm more likely to believe is that it is not being utilized correctly. There were many people in the Johnson County Jail that should have been at GuideLink. There needs to be an investigation into how people having a mental health crisis are being cared for, or rather not cared for, and if the city's money is being well spent. Number 5, in a short period of time, I've had my eyes opened when it comes to the concerns our community has regarding the police. With that said, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department is in charge of our investigation. There was a Coralville police officer in attendance on 2 separate occasions in our home. They were there because they had to be, because of a conflict of interest due to my position as a counselor. The Coralville officers were respectful to Jeff, they were respectful to me, and they were even respectful to our enthusiastic dogs. You know who you are, and I thank you for your professionalism. As for the other interrogations and searches that we were subjected to, I sadly learned that the use of lies and coercion are not only legally allowed, but generally used tactics. The arrest and jail experience is something that I will be discussing with the proper authorities in the future. As Angela Davis said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Jeff and I have always felt that life leads us where we can do the most good. Maybe that is the purpose of these false allegations and this horrendous experience. With that said, I've been trying to think of solutions for some of these striking problems. One idea that came to my mind was empathy training. Let me be clear, I don't mean in a classroom napping through a lecture either. In nursing school, we performed everything from bed baths to inserting IVs on each other prior to being allowed to perform procedures on real patients. Considering I clearly remember the horror of receiving a bed bath 40 years later, I think we can assume it was an effective learning technique. Perhaps the Johnson County Sheriff Department would benefit from personally experiencing the booking process and spending minimally 24 hours in a cold cement mass holding cell. It would be most authentic if they were presented to the general population as a racist, dirty cop so they can gain the most out of that experience, because there's nothing like hands-on learning. Regarding the many inhumane actions that have been brought to my attention, trust that I will address them in the future, and I will do my best to represent those voices who haven't been heard. I will abide by one of my favorite quotes: be brave enough to always do the right thing, even when others don't. And finally, number 6, the mayor has called for my resignation, and the mayor pro tem concurs. I know my resignation will make things easier for them, eliminate any drama. I am disappointed, though, that in their leadership roles, they didn't stand up for my freedoms and my rights. I have come to a decision. My focus needs to be on assuring that justice is served with this investigation and that the real truth comes to light. I would like to express how much I've enjoyed my 10.5 years serving this community. This city staff is superior. We are most blessed to have Kelly Hayworth at the helm as our city administrator. And Sherry Proud has made Coralville the beautiful and active paradise that we enjoy every single day. To my fellow counselors, continue the good work. I'm counting on you. To the people of Coralville, I hope you feel I have listened. I hope you felt heard. I hope I interacted with you, sharing and showing care and compassion. I hope I helped improve our community. You have my deepest gratitude for allowing me this honor. And with that said, I tender my resignation as a Coralville City Councilor, effective immediately.
Thank you, Councilmember Dodds. Councilmember Nguyen.
No comment tonight, Mayor.
All right.